Hey guys, I was reading through the comments that you guys are leaving, which are awesome, by the way. They're really good, well thought out comments. And as I'm thinking about them, I've come across comments that are very similar. And I got to kind of organizing them in my head. And what happened was I sat down and I recorded all my thoughts. And this is what I was doing last night. And I was really excited about it because I made kind of a little epiphany, something that I'd like to share. And I'd like to show you exactly what it was that I came up with. All right. Well, I've got my blank page and going through the different questions, going through the comments, the great comments. What we've really kind of boiled it down to three different phases, as it were. Now, Forex, as you know, isn't just a kind of a wham bam sort of thing. What it is essentially there's a journey involved. You have a start, and essentially you want a finish. And that finish, we don't want to end in any other way than success. So from the beginning to the end, we have a journey. Now, this journey is going to cover things like trading systems, what works, what doesn't work, indicators, methodology, emotions, psychology. And as I read through the different comments, the different questions that you guys have left, and also what's happened in the past, there is a commonality. There are threads, and they can be divided into different steps or phases. So we have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And then finally, after you go through the different phases, you're going to end up with success or bust. You're going to quit somewhere along the way. Now, of course, we don't want any trader to get so discouraged that they quit along the way. So being aware of the different steps or the different phases is a really good beginning. And I want to present these to you now. What I've concluded is we've got phase 1, a phase 2, and of course, a phase 3. Now, phase 1, that is when you're brand new, when you're looking to begin trading. You've heard that it's possible to trade. You've heard there's people making money. You might see it on the news, so-and-so doing the stock reports, whatever the case is, investment funds, even the banks. You've come to somehow discover trading. And in our case, trading Forex. So you're going to come across, as a brand new trader, does it work? Is it really something you can do? Is it possible to make money trading? So that's maybe the first thing. Is it possible to make money trading? And then another question would be, how much should I start with? So phase 1, you're looking possibly, is there a holy grail? Most traders have heard about one. Have heard about the elusive holy grail. How do you become a pro trader? Another question might be, where can I find more information? Is there one best system? And these are the kinds of questions that you start to ask in phase 1. When you're introducing yourself or being introduced to trading, these are kind of those initial questions. And they're excellent questions to ask. It means you're prepared to do the research. You're really interested enough to ask these questions to kind of take it to the next step. So now the culmination of these questions basically is, does it work? Does trading work? Can it work? Can I make it work? Does trading work? Now, this is the summary, the basic one major question of phase one. Does it work? Now, once you've answered, does it work? You've concluded that it does. You've seen other traders make it work. You've heard enough. You've seen enough reports. You've heard enough comments. There's enough people out there doing it. Whatever the case is, you've decided that, yes, I think it can work. Now you move on to step two. Step two, you're going to start asking questions like, what's the best indicator? What's the best indicator? Where should I put my stop loss? Another question is, how many hours should I be trading? Another one is, maybe you're hearing some technical stuff and you really want to know, does Fibonacci work? Things like, does Elliott wave work? What are the best money management rules? Should I use a certain indicator? Should I use stochastic, for example? Should I use a MACD? And the list of indicators really could be endless. But this is the kind of questions that you start coming across in phase two. And what you're essentially asking in phase two as a trader that's kind of gone beyond phase one, does it work? Yes, I've answered the question. It does work. Now, how does it work? That really is the major question for phase two traders. How does it work? That is kind of the summary of phase two. Now, phase two is really quite exciting for most traders. They start doing all kinds of experiments. They load up their charts with all kinds of different indicators. They're buying trading systems left, right, and center. They're going onto forums. They're looking at all kinds of resources. They're buying books. They're really diving into it with both feet, as it were, and just learning as much as possible. Now, towards the end of phase two, you might have had a live account. You've done some trading, lots of demo trading. You've reset that demo account so many times you can't even count because you've blown it out or taken bad trades or not followed the rules quite right and had to start over. You know, these kinds of things. These are all phase two. You're looking at how does it work, and you're experimenting and you're making all these kinds of adjustments, and you're looking for, you know, ideally the holy grail. You want to see if it's out there. But you've come to the realization now, you go from step two to phase three, that it's not going quite the way you were either promised or thought or hoped. You know that there's money to be made in the markets, phase one. You're looking for a way to do it in phase two. And now you're in phase three. And some of the things you're going to be asking in phase three is, what's wrong with me? Because you're seeing other people doing it. Another question then is, how come everyone's making money but me? And then you start possibly feeling alone, because it is a lonely business. Really, it is. I mean, there's not that many traders that you would know face to face, kind of thing. So as a struggling trader, you very possibly feel alone. Now, a big one is, I'm sure there's something going on in the market that I don't know about. I'm sure that I don't know about. And the marketers aren't helping this. They really think, traders in general get the impression that there's stuff going on kind of behind closed doors, that They're out there to get your money kind of stuff. There's a manipulation of the markets that you're just not privy to. And because of that, you don't have access to that privileged information that you're losing all your trades. There's something going on that you don't know about. That there's a kind of a conspiracy theory, and you're not part of it. And from there, you feel uncertain. And another one is, why do I feel so stressed out when I trade? Now, that we can add more to this, of course, but this, you kind of see what the theme is here. And essentially, what the question being asked from phase 3 traders is really, why can't I make it work? Why can't I make it work? So you go from, does it work in phase 1? And you've decided, sure, it can work. Then you go to phase 2, and you're starting to do some research. You're starting to do some experimenting. You're starting to do a little bit of trading. You're trying out different systems. You're getting your hands dirty. You're getting right in there. And then it goes from that excitement of, this is great. I'm going to make all kinds of money. I'm going to discover the Holy Grail. Those sort of thoughts that run through your head. And then it doesn't work out quite the way you wanted to. You've blown an account, maybe 2 accounts. You've lost some money, or maybe you haven't got to live account yet. You're demo trading, but no matter what you do, you seem to lose all the time. And then you go into phase 3, and you become very uncertain, and you feel like you just can't make trading work. Now, when it comes to these 3 areas, does it work? How does it work? And why can't I make it work? Those are really the basic questions. And they are all to be applauded, because this means you want to do better. You want to carry on. And what this all comes down to is really a lack of knowledge, a lack of knowledge, a lack of information, and then a lack of direction. So does it work? How does it work? Why can't I make it work? The all, and then a lack of direction. So does it work? How does it work? Why can't I make it work? They all come down to questions. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the information. You don't have the direction that you need to make all this come together and work for you. There's a lot of marketers that don't help. They give you bad information. They give you false information. There's a lot of not just marketers, but other traders. You've got the traders often in the forums that can't, they're in the same boat. They don't do very well either, but they will tell you that they're making a fortune. Or they'll take 5 trades, have 4 losing trades, and then post 1 really great trade. And because of that, you think, well, everybody's winning, but I'm not winning. I win once in a while, but it doesn't make up for the losses. So you really have the lack of knowledge, lack of proper information, and because of it, really no direction. You don't know where to go from there. You're at phase 3. You could be in phase 2 right now. You might be in phase 1. Phase 1 is, yes, it does work. Phase 2 is we can make it work. And phase 3 is we know how, we know what the problems are. Like we can make it work. Like there are answers for each of these different phases. And right now, you might be experiencing one of these phases. Chances are you are. All the comments, all the questions really are narrowed down into phase 1. Does it work? Phase 2. How does it work? And phase 3, why can't I make it work? And again, maybe we're going to harp on this a little bit, but it really is a lack of knowledge, a lack of information, and a lack of direction. There's nobody to kind of point you in the right direction. There's nobody to give you the proper information. And because of that, you just don't know. And it's not your fault. It really isn't your fault. You can get to phase 3 and have been manipulated really all the way through. You can get to this last phase here before you're successful. Why can't I make it work? And you just haven't been provided with the tools necessary or the guidance or whatever it is that you need in order to make this work for you. So that is kind of what I've been thinking about. And it really is narrowed down to these 3 phases here. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I know you're going to find yourself in one of these phases if you're listening to this. I've gone through this. Like, I'm just like you when it comes to this. I've done the phase 1. I did the research. I found that there was an investment company that could trade for me and make it work. And they did. And they did really well at it. Something happened to them, and then I didn't have access to them anymore. So I tried. I got into it. How does it work? I didn't know how it worked. So I jumped in with both feet and I tried all the kinds of indicators. I was sure that I could find the Holy Grail. If I could get chess, the right combination of indicators, with all chess, the right settings, those kinds of things. You're probably going through that or have gone through that. And then no matter how hard I tried, it just didn't work out. I couldn't make any money. And there was all kinds of other issues that weren't related to the actual trading system. I was the problem for a lot of that. There was emotional, some psychological issues. Now, when you say psychological, not like you're a nutcase or anything like that. It's just what's going on in your head. What is maybe seems rational or intuitive is working against you. And until you know what that is, you really can't go beyond phase 3. All right. Well, that is going to be it for this section. I've written this down and you can see what I'm thinking about here. And I am sure that you fit in one of these categories. And I'm determined to kind of get you beyond this. Now, we've covered the different phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. These are the phases traders go through. They start out, phase 1, does it work? They move on answering that question. If they say no, doesn't work, then trader's gone. They never show again. They don't move on to phase 2. They're not a trader at phase 1. They're looking to be a trader. Phase 2, how does it work? They start looking technically. They start getting into the systems. And there's quite a range of phase 2. It starts out with huge excitement. And towards the end of phase 2, finding out that it's really hard. Phase 3, why can't I make it work? There's a transition from phase 2 where it's just not working out to phase 3 where there's a realization that there's something going on. I can't make it work. What the heck is happening here? Now, phase 1, does it work? We can break down to a word validation. We're going to use the word validation to sum up everything a phase 1 trader is going through. In phase 1, you're just looking to see that it's a viable business, a viable way to make some money. You're looking for other traders that have done it. You're looking for anything. You're looking for account statements. You're looking for winning trades. You're looking for that trader that said, yeah, I won big last night. It doesn't even have to be true. Like, you're just looking for that kind of validation. Step number 2, phase 2. How does it work? At this point, we can equate that with building a system, looking for, finding, manufacturing, buying, whatever you're doing to get yourself a system. It's going to start out clumsy. It's going to start out complicated. It's going to start out with you thinking, well, one indicator is great. Maybe 54 is even better. So you're going to load up your charts. You're going to find yourself every indicator in the book. You're going to look, if you're a MetaTrader 4 user, you're going to find indicators that have, there's all kinds of ones that don't exist anywhere else. People have built indicators. You're going to be loading as many as those as you can on your charts. You're looking for the Holy Grail. You're trying to find it work. You're determined to be the one to discover the Holy Grail. You've heard it's not out there, but you're going to find it. So you're doing a lot of testing. You're doing a lot of throwing the indicators on the charts, analyzing different time frames. Can I trade the news? Just every aspect of the actual in and out, getting into the trade, getting out of the trade. This is what is a phase 2 trader focuses on. It starts out super exciting and very time consuming. You really do spend a lot of time because this is really, really interesting to you. Towards the end of phase 2, you're finding out that this is really difficult. And that brings us to phase 3. Why can't I make it work? This comes down to a psychology or what's going on in your mind. A trader in phase 3 is hitting the wall. They are losing more than they're winning. But when they look back on the trading system, they're finding that, hey, wait a minute, it's not really the system, it's me. I'm taking trades that I shouldn't be taking. If I had followed the rules, I would have done way better. But for some reason, I'm taking trades I shouldn't be taking, or I'm not taking trades I should be taking. There's a mental aspect, a psychology. We call it emotions, but it's not crazy. It's just everything that people are going through. They're experiencing, I guess, common sense to some degree. The common sense isn't common sense when you're trading. It's counterintuitive a lot of the time. When you're in a trade and it's starting to get profitable, the emotions, the common sense tells you to take the money off the table, even before it hit the profit target, because the possibility of the market turning around is, it's there. The possibility is there. So you get out early. Or if you're in a losing trade, you'll hang on to that losing trade way too long because common sense tells you, well, the market could very well come back. Those are the things that will mess you up as a trader. The psychology, the mental games that the market inadvertently plays with you. You take a losing trade and then you're afraid to get into the next trade because you don't want to lose again. Or you take every trade you can find because you're afraid of missing the big one. Now, each of these terms, psychology, system, validation, can all be lumped into each phase, but the ratios are different. So let's take a look at that. Phase 1, does it work? 90% of a phase 1 trader is looking for validation. Again, they're looking for the account statements. They're looking for the trader that says they can do it. 7% is a system. It's not a big deal to a phase 1 trader. The system is almost a side note. You're paying attention a little bit to, well, that guy traded the news and he's doing really well. That's some validation that this can work. Or this guy's doing the London breakout. Oh, that's doing really well. Some validation that it works. 3% is the mind or the psychological. And I think that number is too high, actually. 3% I think is being generous. It's more like 0.5%. You know what? Maybe even not even that. At this point, phase 1, you just want to know that it works. You're not even remotely aware that there is an emotional side to trading that could influence your performance. Phase 2, how does it work? 90% of a phase 2 trader is looking at the trading system. How do I get in? How do I get out? I want to find the best system. 5% is mind. Now this has grown a little bit from the 3. And I think this number is pretty accurate. You're finding out that towards, the middle to the second half of phase 2, you're starting to trade. You're actually getting into the market. Maybe you have a live account at this point and, you're feeling really stressed out. Like when you're taking the trade, it's scary. Like it's an emotional roller coaster, really. You're up 1 pip and you're elated. You're down 1 pip and you're terrified. Like, oh, it's the end of the world kind of thing. You're on this roller coaster, but you don't quite equate the emotional issues, the emotions to the trading just yet. You don't really know that there's that negative impact that can happen overall. The validation, that's almost non-existent at this point. In phase 2, you've decided that it works and you're looking for the best system, the holy grail. So the validation drops, very quickly from that 90% in phase 1 to almost gone in phase 2. Now phase 3, You are looking at yourself. You're seeing that towards the end of phase two, you're doing some trading and it's not working out. But when you look back on the charts, you find that the trading system you're using is really working well. Like it's tradable and it makes money, but you're not making money. And you've realized that it's not the system, it's you. This brings you to start reading the mental game of trading kind of thing. You're looking for ways to not feel as stressed out. You're looking for ways to just be relaxed, be calm, be okay with taking the losing trade, be okay with getting out early. You know you have to do it, but you're looking for a way to be able to do it. 30% validation, up from 5. Now what's happening is because you're losing, you just want to get a glimpse out there of somebody that's doing it. You know it can be done. You've decided it can be, but because you're losing, you just want to see that there's somebody winning. And 10% is the system. You're always on the lookout for a system that's better than yours. But in phase 3, though, you do recognize that it's the mental game that's screwing you up. You're always on the lookout for the system. No matter where you are past phase 3, the system is always going to be a percentage. You're always looking for maybe that new indicator. New indicators are fun. They really are. But you're looking for, is this indicator, could it possibly help my trading system? If you've passed phase number 3, you don't spend really any time with an indicator. You'll throw it on the chart, check it out real quick, and then discard it. But in phase 3, there is some focus on the system. Maybe you have to dump your system. Maybe you need to tweak your system, but 90% is going to be broken into the validation. You're looking for somebody that is doing it, and the mind, the mental game. Is it possible? Can I do it? Why can't I make it work? It's become an emotional, psychological thing. And you understand that. So we've got the different phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and we can see the proportions, the way they're broken down. And what this all comes down to for a new trader, and maybe for a trader that's not so new, been through the ringer a little bit, it always comes down to not enough knowledge, not enough information, and no real direction. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to fix the problems. You don't know what angle you should be taking and what direction to go. You know that you want to make money as a trader, but that's really all you know. And you might even have it broken down. You might know that you want to make X amount a month, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. In phase 1, you're dreaming of $1 million a month, but you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to get there. You're trying to invent the system now. You go to phase 2, you're trying to invent the system. You're trying to find the system, that secret corner, that nook on the internet that no one else has seen where the Holy Grail happens to sit. You're looking for a way to make this money. And then phase 3 is just a huge blow because you're getting crushed. The market isn't treating you right. And it seems no matter what you do, it's losing. Like, it really is being difficult. It's not cooperating. You seem to be doing everything wrong. You don't know what it is you're doing wrong, but it's going bad. And it all, again, boils down to knowledge, information, direction, and the lack of these things. It's not your fault. There is too much information out there, but traders are starved for the right information. What we want to do here, now that you're watching this video, what we want to do is take you from the start, which is phase 1. And you might be beyond that. You might be at phase 3. And we want to get you to success. Once you break through phase 3, once you break through that barrier, it's a wall. It needs to get crossed. And it's hard. And they say 90% of traders fail. It's going to be at phase 3. They'll quit before they get there, but they'll feel like they failed once they can't pass it. And we want to blow phase 3 apart. We just want to get you right past that barrier. Once you hit phase 3, once you get through it, the only thing that can happen is you become a successful trader. Now that we've asked the questions, does it work? How does it work? Why can't I make it work? What I want to do is give you some answers. I can't ask the questions and not give you the answers. Now, there's a couple of points that I want to address even before we get started here. I'm going to use my rapid results method kind of as a foundation. It answers all the questions that we have, but any system or any methodology that answers these questions is what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be mine. It could be anybody's that fits the bill. And the second thing is the phase 3 here. In the answers section, why can't I make it work is a bad question. We want to change the question to how can I make it work? When you're looking for a constructive answer, you need the proper question. And why can't I make it work is a negative question, and it will focus more on you as a poor trader as opposed to what you can do to become a better trader. So this is how we're going to change phase 3. How can I make it work? We're going to address that question. So phase 1, does it work? When you see the system on your charts, does it make sense? Can you see winning trades? Can you see how the market moves and why you're trading it? Is there an element of intuitivity to it? Can the system look profitable? Now, this is going to do a couple of things. This is going to give you the confidence to take the trade. You can see that the system works, and it's going to really affect you in a positive way psychologically. You'll be more likely to take the trades because you've seen in the past that over and over and over that it works. And this should give you that confirmation that, yes, I can make money trading Forex. Does the trading system trade only when the probabilities are highest? There are sections of the market where trading is great and the probabilities of winning the trade are very high. Then there's sections of the market, time frames or periods, where the market's very choppy and it's really difficult to trade profitably. Does the system you're using make that distinction? Can you isolate the profitable times from the not so profitable times? Next, you see it work with several live trades. Are there examples that you can look at? Can you see the developer of the system trading it? Can you see on charts kind of the play-by-play as a live trade is working out? Seeing the trades in the past is great on old data, but I think it's important to be able to see a handful of trades as the market unfolds. This gives you that the encouragement that, yes, I mean, this is possible. I can make money in the Forex market. Now, a lot of times the developer is the only one that can trade it. There's a lot of ins and outs, a lot of complexities that maybe nobody can understand. So another important aspect is, can other traders show you that it works with several live trades? This means not just the developer themselves, but people that they've taught. Are other traders making money trading that trading system in the markets? Now, this one's kind of weird. The last one here, many methods inside the same system. This is a rarity. You're very rarely going to come across this. But what I've been able to do is find different ways to trade the same system to approach each trader's different levels of experience, levels of comfort, levels of just what they're comfortable with. I mean, a lot of traders aren't comfortable with the exact same system. So some tweaking, some changes, some alterations need to be made. And is the system that you're looking at able to do that? Or is it just a cut and dry ABC kind of trading system? If you can answer these questions positively, then absolutely check. The system works. It does work. Not just the system, but the fact that you can make money trading in the markets. So next is phase 2. How does it work? Well, we need a tested system using the most reliable tools. Indicators tweaked to perform the best by a trader who understands the process. You can't have somebody who doesn't know anything about trading put together a trading system and expect it to work. What you need are tools, indicators, methodologies that have proven reliable in the past and tweaked to current market conditions, by somebody who's doing it, by somebody who's been around for a little while, somebody that has seen the market change, know what changes to make, and know what a system is capable of. Now, in my particular case, there was an indicator that I developed specifically for the system. It is an additional indicator. There are several indicators on the charts, but I've made a new one to carry some of the weight because the market environment is a little bit different now. I've developed an indicator specifically for today's trading. Now, there's going to be most systems won't provide this for you, and I don't expect most systems to do that, but I'm fortunately in a position where I can. Next, how does it work? Clear-cut entry and exit rules. Are they simple to understand or are they very confusing? You don't want to be guessing that you're making the right entry. You don't want to be guessing that this is a trade. You want to know for sure that this is a trade. This is going to get you in the market and out of the market without too many questions. You don't want to be doubting every time you're in the market. Is it a signal? Yes, get in. Is it an exit? Yes, get out. Simple trade management rules is important. You don't want a trading system that you enter and the price either hits your take profit or your stop loss. I mean, this is real trading. We want to trade in the markets as a real trader. You have to manage your trades. This aspect all by itself can double the profit that you make over the course of a month. When you get stopped out at your initial stop loss, say 20 pips, are you always getting stopped out at 20 pips? Or are you managing the trade so that when you do get stopped out, it's very rarely the full 20 pips? Is it 10 pips, 5 pips, break even? Whatever the case is, you need to manage that trade so that your losses are reduced, so the risk is reduced. Now, if your trading system can do all of this, then check, we're good. Does it work? Or how does it work? It absolutely does work, and it works based on the latest tweaking by somebody that knows what they're doing. Phase number 3. Remember, this is the one we changed from why can't I make it work to how can I make it work. When you are signing up, when you are joining, when you are going to spend a little bit of money, you want to have access to some kind of support group. This can be a forum or something along those lines where there's other traders that can back you up. Trading is a lonely sport. It's a lonely job, a lonely business. You're going to be doing a lot of it on your own. For me personally, I don't even know that many traders in my personal life. And all the trading, the interaction that I do is online. So you want to have access to that kind of support. And you need someone to answer your questions. You need to have either the creator or people in a forum. In my case, I will be there to answer your questions. When you get started, you're going to need answers. There's going to be a lot of questions you have. You might not have a lot, but you might have some important ones. There's a few really important questions or concerns that will need to be addressed. Is there somebody there that can answer your questions and help you on your way, help you progress? Methods to reduce your stress. I mean, this is a big deal. If you are stressed out when you trade, if you're afraid to take the next trade, if you hesitate on every signal that pops up, that needs to be addressed. We need to figure out a way to reduce that stress level so that you are more comfortable taking the trades. The system that you're getting needs a method or a technique or something that will allow you to trade less and less stressfully. You're not going to be entirely stress-free, but you can get pretty close to it, and we need to address that issue. Can the system be altered so that you are comfortable trading it? It says here, alter system until you are comfortable. We need to be able to adapt a trading system from trader to trader until there's a comfort zone there. And with my system, I've been able to do that. I've got several different ways that we can trade the same basic system. Not every system can do that. I'm fortunate in that I've been able to figure about 8 different ways to do it. So there is going to be an option for everybody. But you want to be able to be comfortable with the trading system. This is super important to how can you make it work. If you are uncomfortable, you don't trust the system, you don't trust that it's going to work, you're not comfortable with the setups, you're not really fully understanding why you're taking the trades. I mean, these are all really areas of comfort that need to be addressed, and we have to make small changes so that you are comfortable. And this also goes to several approaches to the market. Those two really are the same. Alter the system with a different approach. We can take the same methodology, but twist it slightly so that you are more able to trade with less fear, less stress. Now, you've got to remember that trading is not a competition. This is a huge deal in reducing the stress that you feel when you trade. You're not out there against the other guy, no matter what they, quote unquote, they have you believe. You don't have to take money from another trader in order to win. Money does change hands, but it's not the zero-sum game that a lot of marketers would have you believe. There's a lot of big business that changes money on a day-to-day basis, and that's in the billions of dollars. And a lot of the winnings comes from that transaction. Businesses, they don't care. They're not in it to make a buck on the transaction. It has to be done. They've got to pay employees in different countries or goods. Whatever the case is, there's money being changed hands, and you can profit from that. It doesn't have to come out of the pocket of your neighbor. And finally, take your time. Now, these last two aren't strictly to the trading system. These are just points that'll help you trade a little better, trade stress-free. Take your time. You don't have to master this thing overnight. You can take as long as you need. The markets are always going to be here. They are always going to move. There's always going to be a signal. There's always going to be a trend. There's always going to be a change in the direction of the trend. Whatever the case is, there's always another trade. You don't have to get them all. You don't have to get them now. You can practice as long as you need. Trade a demo for as long as you need. Trade small for as long as you need. Little lot sizes, little positions. You don't have to jump into it with both feet on the first day. This isn't something that you're going to master overnight, and you can take your time. You can take as long as you need. I'm going to be around for as long as you need. Other members in the forum are going to be around for as long as you need. You can take your time. Now, if the methodology you're looking at can help you with these different points, then we're good to go. Can I make it work? Yes, I can. And this is how we're going to do it. Now, this last slide is a picture of me, the rapid results method. These are the solutions that I can offer. Again, though, if you find a different methodology, different system that can offer the same solutions, that is awesome. But for me, I personally want to help you become a better trader. And it really is that simple. There's nothing more to it than that. No bells, no whistles, no strings attached. I just want to help you become a better trader. Trading is the best life, the best lifestyle. Once you get it, there's nothing better than that. You can grow your account to whatever you like without having to grow overhead, without having to be a bigger business kind of thing. Trading is really unique. And if you're a good trader, then you are set for life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I've enlightened a few people. I hope you got a little bit out of it. You take care, and I hope to talk to you really, really soon.